Welcome to another episode of Bizarre NL. I am your host, Cody O'Quinn, and today we are talking about the Weber. There have been many variations of this story, with some saying it originated in Deer Lake, Pasadena, Grosse Morne, Corner Brook, and as well as my hometown, Stephenville. The first time that I heard about the Weber was a long time ago when I was just a young lad. If I could remember correctly, the year was 2012 when I was 13 years old. School was out for the summer, so I was attending Camp Kill Devil, a camp located in Grosse Morne National Park. It was late one night. Many of the kids and counselors were sitting around the campfire. The counselors would use this time to tell spooky stories and ghostly tales.
One more story before 12.
I don't recall most of these stories, except for the one that you are here to listen to today. It was the opening year of Camp Kill Devil, 1959. Kill Devil was making strides and was flourishing with campers. It offered a wholesome camp experience for Christian youth in the summers, and also a peaceful getaway for those looking to heal from their troubled pasts. As they still do to this very day, during the very first year of Kill Devil, the counselors would tell scary stories around the campfires late at night to the campers who were willing to listen. But one night, as they were about to tell their story, the counselors noticed something was off. A young boy who attended the camp, who was always ecstatic and overly excited about hearing these scary stories, was not around the fire this night. One of the counselors went to check the cabin that the boy was staying in, but the other kids bunking with him said they hadn't seen him since earlier in the day. This raised an alarm to the counselor, but he wasn't too sure that something was going wrong because he figured the young boy was probably just hiding somewhere, waiting to jump out at him and try to scare him. So he walked around to check the back cabin, thinking the boy probably didn't go too far, but there was nobody there. This immediately put a bad feeling in the counselor's gut. So he went back to the campfire right away and he told the other counselors what's going on. They sent everybody back to their cabins and they had an early night. The following morning, a search party was sent out to look for this young boy, and it didn't take them long to figure out what was going on. About half a mile away from the camp, they found the boy sitting lifeless. He was sitting against a tree with his stomach torn apart and his face covered in claw marks, and also, horrifyingly, using the blood of the boy's body, the word Weber was written in blood on the tree above him. After this incident, there were multiple sightings in the Grosse Morne area of a humanoid creature with webbed hands and feet, usually seen next to clawed open animal corpses discovered by local park rangers.
Dear God, what is that thing?
They call this creature the Weber, and they say he still roams the woods of Grosse Morne to this very day. So that was what I remember about hearing this story as a kid. Most of the variations of this story were compiled in the book Haunted Shores, True Ghost Stories of Newfoundland and Labrador, written by local spooky man, Dale Jarvis. That guy is seriously such an amazing storyteller. A variation that he describes in his book is from an old Camp Ashanti counselor named Aaron Boyd. A young couple from Stephenville were happy and excited to be expecting their first child. Early ultrasounds revealed that the baby had webbed hands and feet. In the 7th month of pregnancy, the mother started to experience sharp pains, and she was rushed to Corner Brook late one night. But the ambulance never arrived. The next day, the ambulance was found to have crashed off the highway just outside of Black Duck Siding. A horrifying sight met the police officers' eyes. The 3 paramedics were found clawed to death, and the mother-to-be was found with a gaping hole in her abdomen. The baby was nowhere to be found. For months, police investigated the accident and tried to find a rational explanation. But as time went on, they were eventually forced to close the case and came to a terrifying conclusion. The baby had somehow clawed its way out of the mother's belly and attacked the paramedics. And there's so much more variations of the Weber story. Some from Stephenville's Igloo Road, some from Carmenville, Heart's Content, Blaketown, Lewisport, and, well, you get the point. There's been so much variations, it's nearly impossible to cover them all. And though this story likely originated from very popular urban legends such as The Hook and the boyfriend's death, and added its own Newfoundland twist to it, it's not completely fair to say that this creature is not real. At the end of Dale Jarvis's section about the Weber in his book Haunted Shores, he describes a story that a woman named Karis Sams told him. She told him a story that happened to her father, a man who she says is as honest as they come. Her story goes like this. Mom and he were out for a drive and decided to park on the wharf in Tilt Cove. It was dark, and the car was left running, with the headlights shining out across the water. Then up, over the edge of the wharf in front of them, came a man-like creature with webbed feet and hands that stood up in front of the car on two legs. His head had fins that came out of the sides of its face, and it was a blackish green color. So was this encounter true? Very well possibly. But all I know is that is it for another episode of Bizarre NL. Thank you guys for sticking around this long, and if you enjoyed this video, you can click up in the top right, and it'll bring you to another video just like this one. And we would really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. It really helps us take things farther. But until next time, I am your host, Cody O'Quinn, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Well, hopefully.